afternoon, Gavin. Looking forward to a chat with you this afternoon. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Good afternoon.
Splendid. Good place to start. Could you briefly describe your role at Worldline?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose probably the best thing to say about my role at Worldline is that I sort of wear two hats at the moment. So when I first joined Worldline, I was in our new business team, predominantly looking for new business within sort of tier one and enterprise merchants. But more recently, I'm sort of into the our partnership team, where I'm looking for partners in the UK to help us with our strategic goals. And this has sort of come about from my past experience working in partnership roles, and sort of moving into that role within Worldline seemed like a natural progression.
Fantastic. So obviously a lot of talk there of partners and partnerships. So how would you describe your approach when building and maintaining relationships with said partners?
Yeah, I think good relationships will always rely on good communication. I think from past experience, I've learned that mutual respect, trust, and compromise are really the sort of three key pillars when building a relationship. And I think these characteristics allow you to operate in a safe space, to share opinions and ideas, and ultimately that's what builds the trust in each other when entering a partnership.
Absolutely, that makes sense. And so in improving those relationships, I guess you use quite a lot of data. How do you build data into that relationship building exercise?
Yeah, so data is really important. I think data has been quoted as being more valuable than gold at the moment.
That's right.
So yeah, it's really important. I think when you use data, it's just about making sure that you use it in the right content. So, what do you want to get out of data? There's no point in analysing data for the sake of it. I think you want to be able to improve the relationship and ultimately improve the end result. So I think you can use data and the insight provided to not only align your objectives, your expectations, but also build your strategies with your partners. And I think data will always plays a key role. And I think as we move into a more digital world, that role is going to get bigger.
Indeed, and that's very interesting. And as part of that, obviously, you have to keep those partners engaged. So how would you say you keep them engaged, keep them invested in their relationship with yourself and your team and Worldline in general?
Yeah, so this is one of the things that Worldline does really well. So one of the things that we do is we host partner days where we get our partners into our innovation centres, where we talk to them about new products, new services. We get experts from within the business and outside of the business to come in and do keynote speaking. It's also a great opportunity for the partners to network with fellow industry professionals as well. And we try and do these events a couple of times a year, and the feedback that we get is always really positive from the partners.
That's good. Well, that proves it's working then, doesn't it? So, and of all of those qualities, what would you say are the most important ones to ensure a successful long-term relationship?
Yeah, for me, I think it comes down to communication, to trust, and that mutual respect that we talked about. I think a key question to ask yourself in a partnership is it one-sided, or are both parties invested? I think once a partnership becomes one-sided, then you've pretty much lost that partnership. So it's about how do you challenge each other, and how do you ensure that everybody's getting something out of the partnership and bringing something to the table. So I think it's having that mutual respect and being able to challenge and push back as well. So it's a two-way street.
Absolutely. And to that effect, you may think it's successful, but do they think it's successful? So in that sense, how would you measure this kind of success, and what does it look like from your perspective?
Yeah, so I suppose this is the $1 million question. There's a million and one answers to this. I think the one that people will look at judging the success of a relationship or anything will be the results, the KPIs, for example. Yeah. I think they will always speak for themselves, but I think for me the real success of a partnership, of a relationship, is when maybe things are not quite going well, how do you resolve things? How do you work together? How do you pull in the right direction to get the result that's best for everybody? And I think that's what really builds the trust. And again, having that mutual respect. I think it comes down to those personal qualities for me, and I think that's the true measure of a successful partnership.
And that's great, and that makes perfect sense, of course. Well, I guess that's all I was going to ask for you at this stage. Is there anything else you would care to add? Anything that you feel our viewers should hear?
No, for me, like I say, I think you've asked some really good questions there. I think when it comes to partnerships, I think again, those human elements will always play a huge role in partnerships. That with respect, trust, communication, and the results will ultimately speak for themselves.
Yeah, the core, absolute core to the business. Well, that's very interesting. Thank you, Gavin. I wish you a good afternoon.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. Bye.